friends, it's been a year today. This is Friday morning. I'm going to upload this video after light editing, but it's 1 year today since I uploaded my very first video here on YouTube. I can't even remember. I'm gonna look. I should have prepared for this video, but I have a banging headache. I've been working far too hard on the book for my actual business, so I haven't done any prep for this video. So I'm just gonna have a quick peek content. So in total, in the last year, I have published 57 videos on my channel, including this one. It'll be 58. So the very first one was a video called 4 Ways That I Use a Sketchbook, my everyday sketchbook, and it was only like 2.5 minutes long. It's only been viewed 683 times in all that time. It's got loads of likes. And it's just interesting to think that's where my YouTube channel started a year ago. I published it on March 8th, 2023. And it's kind of amazing. I've put mascara on because I feel quite emotional. Mascara means I won't cry, or like, you know, because there's no reason to cry. It's just a sense of pride and accomplishment. I didn't create my YouTube channel in order to make any money. I have another YouTube channel for my business and it doesn't make anything. A YouTube channel, especially if you're not making entertaining content, like, you know, like Mr. Beast, you're not going to really make any money. I guess people make money from their YouTube channel from like sponsorships with like, I've seen loads of people sponsored by Squarespace or Skillshare, that kind of thing. So I guess that's how they make their money. If you're curious, just for the funsies, I'm just going to open up my YouTube analytics. I'm going to change the time to lifetime. Although my channel only got monetized December 24th. In the whole time that I've had this channel, since it got monetized, which was, as I just said, December 24th, it's made £149.51. December, January, February, and half of March. So 2.5 months, it's made about 150 quid. So obviously it's not ever going to pay the rent. But the point is, like, before you get carried away and be like, oh, she only started a channel in order to make money. I never started this channel to make money. I started this channel to hold myself accountable because my business, my main job it's in the creative arts. You know, I teach people how to design and make their own fashion, sustainable fashion. So it's a lot of sewing and pattern making and fashion design. I have like custom clients. I do in-person stuff. I do online stuff. But that was my passion before it became my job. Before I went and studied at fashion school, it was my passion. And then I turned it into my job. So I never had that creative outlet that was separate from my work. And that's what this channel has allowed me to have, is that freedom away from work. So at the moment I'm really frustrated because I feel like I'm not doing as much art as I could be or want to be, and that is because of the book, which will help my business. But like I'm supposed to be doing oil pastel months. I haven't done an oil pastel drawing for 2 days. I haven't done anything in my daily drawing book for the last week, I think, because I've just been so busy. I'm writing up, I'm doing diagrams, I'm sewing supply, like samples. It's just been really mental. And so if there's one thing there are several things I can take away from having a YouTube channel, if it's something you're thinking about, the first benefit is that it allows you to step away from your life, your business, your work life, whatever it is. It just allows that kind of like escapism, that space where it's just you and yours. Nobody else knows about this channel. My dad does, my fiance, and a couple of friends, but they don't know what it's called and they haven't checked it out. Actually, my niece discovered it, and one of my business friends found it. Was like shared to her because she's like an illustrator, but nobody else knows. Like nobody on my newsletter for my main business knows about this channel. This is like, for me, it's my secret little world, and it's partly because of you all watching these videos and commenting. Like I get the loveliest comments under my videos. If I post anything in the community thread, I get such lovely comments. Like everyone is so warm and friendly and opening. Not sure that's the right word to use. And it's just like, I didn't ever experience that for my channel that is my business. I've never, like, there I'm supposed to be like an educator, so I'm teaching people. So there's not that kind of like familiarity and friendliness that comes. It's normally like, oh, thank you for teaching me this. Whereas here, I'm not teaching anyone anything. I'm just holding myself accountable to daily art practice as much as possible, using this channel as a way for holding me accountable, if that makes sense. So the very first video was actually based upon this sketchbook. It's my everyday sketchbook, February 22 to May 2023. And part of the reason I started this channel is because I wasn't practicing. The first thing I did was the 31st of July, and I did swatching, and that's in 2022. And I was just not making time. This is the August. So like that's a jump of a month already. I didn't make time, and then we jumped to December. I'm not sure if that was a jump to December 2022 or if I used that page later. But this sketchbook has this was using the Hemi gouache in February 2023, and it's amazing. Like having this channel has made me be more regular in my art practice. It's made me be more experimental with my art practice. And there was a third thing and I forgot what it was. What was the third thing? It's made me be more open to suggestion, because in my business I know what I'm doing. Like I'm a professional in what I do, and I do what I do really, really well. So like if someone says, oh, have you thought about doing it like this? I'm like, that is not how we do it in the fashion industry. Why would I teach? How would I teach people how to do something in a way that isn't a professional technique in order for them to get the best possible outcome? Whereas here it doesn't matter, because one, I'm not a professional artist, and two, there are so many people around me who are happy to share their knowledge and ideas and skills on what works for them. I just absorb that. Like somebody for the oil pastels month video said to get the Pental oil pastels, or the Mungio, I think they said. It was a recommendation to get, it might have been Sylvia. But someone said get like a cheaper brand and then put the Senneliers on top. So it's like an underpainting with a different pastel and then Senneliers on top. So I ordered the Pentals. They came yesterday or the day before. No, I think it was about 3 days ago. They're sitting on the dining table and David said to me, it's like, ooh, what are these here for unpacked? I was like, because I haven't filmed them yet. He's like, oh, what are you, an influencer now? I'm like, no, it's just like my new art supplies and I want to share them with my YouTube friends. So, I lost my thread, sorry. Yeah, sorry, this video is going to be terrible. It's probably going to be the least viewed video. Hey ho. My point is, anyway, so I'm going to circle back and I'm going to come to the point, I think. First of all, I need to say a massive thank you, because without you stopping by, watching some of my videos, commenting, liking, and actually engaging with me in the comments, I probably wouldn't have continued, but I probably would have. I just wouldn't have posted videos as frequently, because at the moment I'm trying for 2 per week, you might have noticed. I'm not sure that's going to hold out for the next 6 weeks while I finish up the book. It might be more like 1 a week for the future, and then bonus videos as and when I get them. I would still have managed to do some sort of daily art practice, I think. It just wouldn't have been that saying, I saw it recently where someone, I think it might have been in a YouTube video actually, where somebody was doing art. They were being arty. They were doing daily art or weekly art or something. And they never got better. They never saw their work getting better than a certain level. And it's because they were obsessively watching this one person's video tutorials, and they didn't move beyond that person. They just watched that person's video tutorials all the time, week after week, month after month, year after year. And so they never progressed themselves with their skill level, because that person who was doing the teaching hadn't developed further. They had their own way of doing things, and that's what they did. And when you're only looking at that one person and that one way of doing things, you're molded in the same way, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So you're only going to reach that certain level that they can teach at, because they haven't gone further, they haven't gone beyond. Whereas if you switch your focus and you're like, okay, well, I learned as much as I can from this person. What about this person who's at a higher level or more experimental or creative in a different way, or working with different mediums? If you switch your focus to here, you might be out of your comfort zone and you might do terribly for the first 6 months or something. But after that, things will start to click and you'll start to get better at what you're trying to do. You'll understand things in a different way. And so then you'll look back at this person and you'll be like, whoa, my stuff's so much better than that now. And it's because just following that one person was really holding you back. It's why I'm in so many different Patreons, and it's why I quit Patreons and I join new ones, so I can develop my skills in different ways, because I don't want to ever be stuck. And this is I would never, if you go back a year ago, before I started this YouTube channel, I would never have thought about using oil pastels. I would never have thought about using chalk pastels or acrylics or gouache. So actually, we're probably looking about 2 years ago, because it was about a year ago I started being like, I'm going to start with a few things. I just had the Cotman, what do they call them? Winsor Newton Cotman set for the longest time. And it was when my mum got really ill, actually. I was like, I'm going to treat myself to some nice watercolours. And I'd seen someone talk about Daniel Smith, so I bought a palette full of Daniel Smith's, tubes, and I squeezed them in. And that kind of opened, then seeing the vibrancy of those colours, I was like, oh, this is quite beautiful. Look at all the colours, oh, beautiful. And that kind of hooked me in. But I would never have experimented the way that I do now if it wasn't for this channel. I feel like I'm waffling. I should probably stop. And I nearly said again. It's 11:15 my time. I should probably stop waffling and wrap this up. So what was I saying? I don't know how I'm going to edit this video. I'm all over the place. Having a YouTube channel has done wonders for my art practice. It's enabled me to be more creative and experimental, and it's also created friendships. There are many people here who chat with me in the comments of every video. We've got Kilby, we've got Anita, we've got Susan, there's Sylvia. I've never met any of you, but you're all fabulous. And I feel like David said to me something the other day, who's Kilby? I was like, Kilby's my friend. And I actually told him about Susan, because Susan had said about how her husband had commented that we were like pen pals, like pencil pals. And he chuckled at that. Like, I feel like I've built friendships here. So as well as practicing art, I've got friendships that I wouldn't necessarily have if I was just stuck doing my own thing in my own space with no thought of, like, you know, sharing anything on YouTube. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for being here, every one of you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for all the times that you have liked a video, commented on a video. Even if it's a comment I don't necessarily agree with, I think it's really important that we do allow ourselves to have those conversations. I can't wait to see what happens the next year. I should have like prepped. Should we do a quick comparison? Hang on. Sorry, I had to like grab out all the sketchbooks so I could do this. Let's do a really quick comparison before we wrap up. If we go back to, it's more than a year ago, but my favorite piece from this sketchbook, my everyday sketchbook, is this piece, which was it was like a follow along with Jane Beata in her Patreon, and I did that in 29th of July 2022. Okay, so that isn't something that I did myself. It's something like a tutorial that I followed along with, and that's probably like one of my favorites from this sketchbook. Then if we jump forward to the most recent sketchbook, I guess, so in January I did the Derwent Drawing Challenge for myself, and I did this, and also this one on the left, which is like, it's a street back at my parents, my dad's, but it's done in a way that I would never have thought about before, like just using color pencils. Yeah. Then if we go to this sketchbook, this is from February of this year, and I took myself uptown and I just sat by the side of the street and I sketched. I did little, like, actually Cafe Bronco, I was sat down and people kept coming up to me. It was a bit anxiety inducing, but this one I was just stood there on the corner, and having the confidence, because I've been practicing, having the channel has forced me to do in order, it holds me accountable. And so I'm jumping out of my comfort zone in ways that I wouldn't have done previously. Another example is this double page spread in my A4 sketchbook in January. This is not anything I would have done of my own accord. This is because I have this channel, and through this channel I've met other people and I joined Patreons and I learn. And I still love, like, there's so much colour. I don't know if the style is mine, but the colour is gorgeous and it just makes me so happy to look at it. And then finally this month in March, I'll just show you one because you haven't seen this yet because we're still in March. Or maybe I showed it on the community feed. But this is like a fashion illustration done only in oil pastels. I would never, ever, ever have had the confidence to do this. This took me probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I layered, and it's not perfect. But first of all, it's a black person. I tried once in this sketchbook to paint someone who's black, a black woman. The skin tone is really, 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 really hard. I was determined then I was going to do it because I felt like it was something I should be able to do to illustrate fashion, right? Look at that. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm not saying that this one is any better, but I attempted it with absolute confidence and I wasn't scared to give it a go. In oil pastels, right? That's what having this channel has done for me. It's really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And so to wrap up, I lost my thought again. I can't remember what I was going to say.